I think I'll do this one soft spoken. We have many books to share. A whole tall stack. I'll bring you a little bit closer. I just finished reading a book. Ooh. There we go. That I shared in my last video, Dominicana. And my fridge just stopped making its sound, so I think this is as good a time as I need to just make another video. So we've got a stack of books that I rescued from that library. I have so many books, and they are all by the same author. This is an author that I have read before, and I tend to read his books in order of publication because sometimes he gives little Easter eggs or there's a common location. So I will share what this author is and what books I rescued, and I don't know if I'll read any of these soon, but I will share them in order, well, because of how they're stacked, I'll share them in publication date from latest till furthest away, most recent until oldest. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books by this author. Now, this is a surprise even to me that I read this author's books because I cannot stand horror or thriller, scary movies, or even trailers. But somehow when I was younger, I read his books, and now I just read them. And now I think because I've read so many, they don't all scare me like they used to. But I guess I'm just hooked, and I want to see how the world's built out. So, without further ado, let's share the Stephen. Let's do this. Ready? Stephen King books that I have. That I have not yet read, that I rescued from a paper shredder. All right. We have Later. This says a new novel from Stephen King. Only the dead have no secrets. The #1 best-selling author. It's an orange cover with 2 people on the front with a car, and kind of looks like fire. And the title is in yellow with some smaller font in black, and then, because he's the main reason you would buy this book, Stephen King's name in large white print. This here says this is a hard case crime, which is interesting. I've never seen that on the Stephen King book before. And let's see, this is the most recently published book that I have of his. Published very recently in 2021. So that's only 4 years ago, and I guess it's appropriate we're talking about a hard crime book when there's a siren going on outside my window. All right. This book was published by Titan Books. And I will just read a little bit on the back because I don't want to give it away. Have you ever read a Stephen King book? Or watched a Stephen King related movie or TV show? We'll just deal with this. Okay, so on the back it says, sometimes growing up means facing your demons. Hard Case Crime brings you the best in hard-boiled crime fiction, from lost pulp classics to new work by today's most powerful writers, all in handsome and affordable editions. The yellow ribbon represents your assurance of quality. Later by Stephen King. Okay, we'll just run a little rapidly through these. I would really like it if the camera just, stayed that way. What if I bring you a little closer and I put the book, but it's angling up. Oh wow. Okay, ready? For the next one, notice how Stephen King's name is just always huge on these books. So we have again Stephen, R, his middle initial, King. And this book is called Infested. It's very thin, and it's got a very gloomy, like an attic with light coming through one window with some bugs. And there's some cobwebs. It looks not like a really real cover. And on the back, well, we'll get to the back in a moment. So let's hear it. Looks like an interestingly printed thing. So this was published in 2017. And I don't know. Yeah, this looks like it's I don't really know what's going on here. There's not a publisher, but they have to be published. So it says, 4 new horror adventures to let you discover courage in the face of fear. So these must be short stories. Yeah, it just says manufactured in the United States of America, designed by Magic Pen Designs. So I'm learning from a new job that I have that sometimes things are printed by someone, and I wonder if this is one of them. So maybe there's 4 stories in here. Okay, Infested. Next we have, now we can't do the thing. Sorry for all of the changes in the camera angle here. Get to see a little bit of my kitchen in the background. Okay, there we go. That's better. Now we have Mr. Mercedes. Once again by Stephen King. What does this say? It says, again, #1 New York Times bestseller. And when you see this, it it doesn't necessarily mean this book. Sometimes when you see this, it means that the author is the bestseller. So we have Mr. Mercedes. And we know that this is a novel and not short stories because it says so. Very tiny print on the bottom. And the cover is a light background with what looks like blood dripping down on an open blue umbrella. And this one, Stephen King's name is written in black font, while the title is written in red. Light pages. And on the back cover, we have an updated photo of Stephen King. And this was published by Gallery Books. And it was published in 2014. Let's read. Oh, it's also, the cover is a little like hieroglyphic. I don't know if you can see that there. That was an interesting sound. Okay. Tampa Bay Times calls it thrumming suspense, thoroughly believable. The Washington Post, rich and resonant, and New York Times Book Review, surprising and invigorating. Mr. Mercedes. There's a lot of beeping sounds outside today. I apologize. It's loud out here, even on a Sunday. It's really frustrating, for me at least. Okay. Next we have, once again, by Stephen King, Revival. And Stephen King's name and the title are raised. The font is raised, so there's a texture. And we see on the cover this barn, and it's like a dark gray, green background. This one window with the light on. Kind of looks like Aurora Borealis, and a tree in a field. And the Revival has a line through it. It has lightning through it, it looks like. And once again, the back of the book has a very interesting photo of Stephen King. I have not seen one like this before. Stephen King is holding a guitar over his shoulder, wearing a red shirt and smiling. Quite the different photo, different author photo than the one in Mr. Mercedes. All right, so this book was published also by Gallery Books in 2014. And the New York Daily News says, among King's best, tender, moving, and terrifying. And Raleigh News and Observer says, every page is a treasure trove. It's pure poetry. Revival. Hopefully once we stop with this book, those beeping sounds will stop being revived on the outside. But apparently this truck is taking a very, very All right, the next Stephen King novel is a very thick novel. This is how wide this one is. This is a Dark Tower book. So I have 3 or 4 of the Dark Tower books. I don't remember, I have a list. And we have once again Stephen King's name, Stephen, and then in huge letters, King, because his last name is the most important to whoever designed this cover. And we see a clawed hand, or a hand like this, and we see a mountain in the back. We see a key. We see that this is the Dark Tower number 5, and the subtitle, or the title of this Dark Tower book, Wolves of the Kala, or Kala. And on the bottom, it just says the New York Times bestseller, which probably is referring to Stephen King, might not be referring to the book itself. And the key also has the number, the Roman numeral 5. And we have more photos of Stephen. Whoa. There's also images, artwork in this book. That's new. So I'm not reading the back because they're fiction, and I don't want to give away the stories to myself. Here are the photos of Stephen King. We have 2. And let's see about the copyright page. The illustrations in this book were illustrated by Bernie Wrightson. And this is published by Scribner in 2003. And let's read about what people have to say about this book. So the New York Times book review says, a hypnotic blend of suspense and sentimentality, a sprawling, eventful tale of demons, monsters, narrow escapes, and magic portals. Locus says, Wolves of the Kala is one of the strongest entries yet, in what will surely be a master storyteller's magnus opus. And the San Francisco Chronicle writes, one gets the feeling that this colossal story means a lot to King, that he's telling it because he has to. He's giving the Dark Tower everything he's got. So, the Dark Tower, I believe they've made a movie or a TV series out of this one. The whole series, or at least they're getting into it. All right. Next, we have more big names. Stephen King, also in gold. Ooh, this is a hardcover. The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. It's also a novel. And it's also a dark cover with some light peering down. And I only saw this the other day. This is what I'm guessing is The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, with hair and a backwards baseball cap, running maybe through a forest. And it's a good sound. This is an older book. Oh wow, we have another photo of Stephen King. Red Sox fan. Okay, let's see how this hardcover book sounds. This book has seen better days. This was also published by Scrivener in 1999. Getting very old now. And let's see. What if the woods were full of them? And of course they were. I'm not going to read anymore because it'll give it away. This book feels like it has seen better days. Needs some TLC. The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. All right, final two. We have Stephen King's name isn't very big on this one. It's right on the top. And we see an image of an actor. So maybe this person portrayed one of the characters in a rendition of this book, because this is the smaller paperback copy. And this is Hearts in Atlantis. Now a major motion picture from Castle Rock Entertainment starring Anthony Hopkins. Oh wow, and look where whoever bought this book originally, they bought it from Kmart. Do you remember Kmart? Does Kmart still exist? Let's hear what this paperback sounds like. Oh yeah, that's an old, oh my god. So many photos. There's again Stephen King. And let's see. This was published by Pocket Books in 1999. And let's see, we have Entertainment Weekly says this is wonderful fiction. King's take on the 60s, including the effects of Vietnam, is scarily accurate. All right. Hearts in Atlantis. And the last one, I apparently have only read 3 of the Dark Tower books because we have to conclude the 4th Dark Tower book, Wizard and Glass. The Dark Tower 4. And we see a castle in a bubble. Maybe by the same people who were trying to sell the other one, because I see this little $2 sign on both. This one also has illustrations that are color illustrations. This must be when he started them. I don't remember them in the others. And this book was published by Plume in 1997. And full cover illustrations are by Dave McKean. And this just says the tower is closer. All right. there's my current Stephen King book haul. I don't know which, well, if I were to get started, it would be with this one, because it's the next publication date I have to read. I'm very far behind. I take my time. And we'll see what is next.